Welcome everyone to my new presentation on Polkadot price prediction for November 18th, 2023. Looking forward to discovering the most important things. As usually, make sure to like the video, ask me questions in the comments area, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the bell button to receive all the notifications when we post. What's going on, folks? Well, the market cap is suffering a little, especially with the closing that we had on Friday. We're going through the weekend right now, and things are looking a little different. Polkadot is down by 5.46% in the past 24 hours. But the past hour for the entire crypto is just a great reaction so far, and we're looking for much better numbers to come in, especially that the past 7 days represented a market decrease across the board, an overall markdown, which is necessarily at some point nothing to be scared about, yet these things must end as well, with the follow-up to continue in the bullish rally. By the way, make sure to check out my main YouTube channel as well, and for those of you that are interested in education directly with me one-on-one on a private coaching program where I'll take you by hand and teach you how to trade. This is only for serious people looking to trade and perform. Make sure to look around our page and schedule yourself a free conversation on our Calendly page. I'm going to talk about in details about those things at the end of the video. So what's going on with Polkadot? We're looking at the one-day candlesticks, guys, and we're trying to detect if Polkadot has the ability after a decent breakout, which didn't really flush through the $6 resistance and touch the top that we had basically at 7, that would have been a lot better. The idea to successfully connect two breakouts one after the other without facing retracements is always great, and I'm telling you why. If you don't apply a momentum movement is always the one that has at least 3 candlesticks that are green one after the other on the daily, so that means 3 days as a natural and mandatory condition, which at least compound 20% in movement. So those 3 candlesticks should compound at least 20% in movement, and they must be totally green, so we don't accept any other color, at the same time one after the other on the breakout momentum. So this is basically how we are building a movement which gives the ability to gain strength across the board and takes usually the markets to unimaginable levels. It has that liquidity pump, which is totally different than the slow and steady movements that are requiring time, and they do face the back and forth action on the price, right? So instead of going back and forth like this, people usually prefer to see parabolic movements that are sustained by stairs, which are always constructing towards much better performances because of their liquidity gain. So usually we prefer this structure when we have to break out of 2 major resistances and jump 2 levels higher instead of going level by level, due to the fact that the momentum we're gaining here will be so heavy when we do the retracement. Support will act strongly and the market has the ability to break out much higher. When we talk about an increase like this, that has to be done, and it has to be completed by other factors as well, such as a constant and organic community support in terms of finance and deliverability. So this is something else. Usually the cryptos are falling in this category. Meanwhile, when you deal with stock markets and you have great companies, usually they're dealing in this category, right? So obviously most of the cryptos are on the right side of the example, and this is what everyone enjoys in comparison with the other because of faster and larger profits made in a quick period of time. But right now I'm trying to tell you that technically we prefer that for the crypto space specifically than what is on the left side as first example. Beautiful. So this is what I'm telling you about Polkadot, because if we would have broken out and found resistance on the $7 as the first main resistance instead of finding at $6, things would have looked totally different. Right now, after the retracement, we would have been 1 level higher on the $6 finding support. And the meaningfulness behind a $6 support above the golden pocket is totally different, guys, than where we are right now. So that would be attracting whales to do active day trading and swing trading. That would have been attracting volume that is one of the biggest out there when it comes down to the buying pressure. When you do not have that specific feature on your charts, you're having a disadvantage in the market of altcoins, and you need to deal with that. So in other words, there's other altcoins as well that successfully completed this. And a trader is looking around and it's trying to allocate resources on directions that are having the highest potential, which is why I'm telling you there is a downside in this comparison. At the same time, we need to accept the fact that the concept of what has happened in the past in terms of how powerful the movement has been for a crypto and others is not determining clearly every time in a 100% determinist way the effects of future movements, which means that we can build slowly and steadily on a 20% increase, just like we're in Polkadot right now. Meanwhile, other cryptos are going, let's say, 100%. They do retrace a lot, we also retrace, but the second movement in a second wave on level 2, we might be better than them, which is always the case with the altcoins. This is what people do not understand, that if you got into an altcoin and it didn't move, it do not mean that you have to jump into the other one that have moved, because that might slow down, delay, and the one that you have been before will start moving. So that's crazy, guys. I mean, I've been facing this discussion with my students that they just kept missing increases in parabolic movements because they were jumping from a crypto to the other, and simply you are left out. The idea is that you need to wait it out and your crypto is going to move as well, if we're talking about a good one, in a season. All of them are moving. That's the reality. The only problem is that they move in different phases in different times. And this is the only struggle, that you need to wait it out. Of course, it would be amazing to be part of a crypto. And most of the time, that's what happens. That moves in the first wave. You take the money from that and you put it into cryptos that didn't move in the first wave. And then you benefit once again from the movements. So you recover basically a lot better, or you are actually accelerating if you're doing it like that by taking advantage at all levels. This is basically very important to know. Now, obviously we're sitting right now on 20 days moving average, but the most important thing is the 200 days is the blue line. As well, that the markets have crossed 50 days on 100 days. It's beautiful. Plus we are crossing the trending line on the moving averages. Things are building pretty positive and bullish for Polkadot, that we are not supposed to get scared if there is 1, 2, 3, 4 days of markdown, retracement, and market corrections. They're all acceptable and necessary for us to keep going forward. You need to be able to stand up after you after you fall down in business and so on, just like how the markets are doing it. We usually give that as an example. People sometimes give up on their businesses and dreams after they, fall down, after they have a difficulty. That's true, but look at the markets. The markets are always recovering and going higher and higher and higher across the time, which is a great example. Think about how does, a baby learns how to walk. It learns to walk by falling hundreds of times in a day, right? So it just never gives it up, and tries again until it makes the sufficient control over muscles to handle the movement. So the principle of not giving up is obviously something that it has been spoken across the board thousands of times in all videos out there and so on. Not something new, but the idea here, the markets are doing it the same way. It's just about being patient. So without being patient, the crypto space or any trading domain is impossible to be profitable on. This is the current situation for Polkadot at the moment. We are in a good shape, even though we have decreased, we had a markdown. The market is supposed to find supports at this level and have the ability to pump from here forward. That's pretty much all on today's topic. Once again, for those of you that are looking on one-on-one education directly with me, make sure to check out the private coaching program where I'll take you by hand and teach you how to trade. as well as the ability for you to schedule a free Calendly call. Links in the description area and comments area, including the completely done free trading with our API trading bot. No prior fee, just commission from the pure profits achieved that you can basically consider. Have a good time, folks. All our resources are in the description and comments area. Like the video, comment, and talk to you soon.